All the disrespect before you play back, button check. Button check.
What is up, Button Check family? Welcome back to yet again a beautiful day of checking these buttons. Thank you guys for tuning in one more time. Chapters down below, sub button right there. You already know. We got some hot ones, man. Tomorrow, we're actually going to announce the winner of the Manscaped giveaway, so be sure to tune in for that. But today, we just got some good old hot topic buttons to check, so without further ado, let's go. All right, first up for them, Sonic Fox is great. I mean, he's amazing, but he does not deserve to be put on the FGC Mount Rushmore yet. Buttons that need to be checked. What the hell is going on? A lot of people disagree, and some of you might agree. I don't know. I'm talking too fast. Let's unpack. So FlyQuest posted this the other day. What I found interesting, well, we'll talk about that in a second, but we had who? We had Bailey, we had Justin Wong, we had Brian F, we had Rob TV, quite a few people, right? We'll put some information down below. But they asked Justin, who belongs on the Mount Rushmore? He had some interesting things to say. Check out the clip.
If you're building a Mount Rushmore of the FGC, who are you adding onto that list?
Reinhardt from UK. He's also been playing just as long as me or even longer. He's a multi-fighting game master that has won multiple EVOs, especially in the Tekken space. I don't think there's anybody else that has even gotten close to his accolades and his results on the amount of years that he has been participating in fighting game tournaments, right?
Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I agree with that one. Every time we have a Mount Rushmore discussion, I always want to say Reinhardt. I guess it depends how many choices we get as well. But I'm also going to be biased. I'm not going to lie. I love Reinhardt. I've got to meet him. I got to talk to him. He's always been just a genuine, one of the most humble people you will ever meet in this damn scene. I love me some Reinhardt.
Sonic Fox. What do you think about them and their career?
Oh, Sonic Fox. I think Sonic Fox eventually. I think it's just Sonic needs a really huge win for people to just accept it. Who knows? Maybe next year Evo might have all these new fighting games, and if let's say hypothetically 2XKO, Marvel Chocon, Invincible Versus, Sonic could win all three just like that, and then you can't say anything. But until we get something crazy impactful like that type of tournament win, I don't have Sonic there yet, man. Not yet.
I'm gonna get the obvious out of the way. I'm gonna go Daigo.
Okay, let's take a pause. We'll finish the Mount Rushmore, but how do you feel about what Jay Wong just said? The reason why that's interesting for multiple reasons, but I also posted a video, y'all remember, about 4 months ago. It was titled, "Why Does the FGC Not Consider Sonic Fox a GOAT?" It was another Mount Rushmore debate, and some people were saying he does not belong there. Sonic was saying basically, I do belong there. I'll click on some of the comments right here. We all know this debate says more about the FGC views on Mortal Kombat than it does on Sonic Fox. That one has almost 400 likes. Continuing on, the fact there's no keto sounds more like the FGC complaining about what games they respect. How did everybody forget Infiltration? And it continues on, right? So there's a lot. I mean, I can go all day on these comments. Like I said, almost 2,000 comments on just this one particular topic. So like I said, FGC has even more hot takes on what Justin just said, but we're gonna pause that because I wanna see who else they picked real quick.
Compare him now to the titles, the Evo champions that people are racking up these days. It's clear that he is from a different era. He's still competing today and still putting up numbers, but not dominating in the same sense. But you're not done until you can beat Daigo into a long set. I think that will always speak volumes where it goes even beyond tournaments.
I think a lot of people will say this doesn't really meet my criteria, but I think it does. And it's going to be Arslan Ash. No one that I've seen in my 25 plus years of competing has done what he's been able to do. He's winning multiple Evo titles. You talked about how Evos are diluted now because there's so many of them, etc. But these tournaments are 1,000-man plus events, right? And he doesn't win all the smaller ones necessarily, but when it comes to Evo, he shows up.
Oh, man, what? Listen. Men or T. If you're the greatest Street Fighter player of all time, which he is, then that means that you are automatically in the overall fighting game GOAT conversation. Because the hardest fighting game to win at is Street Fighter.
Obviously, he's going to be one of my actual human best friends, Justin Wong. He's not just the GOAT of fighting games, he's the GOAT as a human. Been friends for so many years. The guy is just an inspiration. His work ethic. We go to Japan, and we're just walking down a street, and there he is with his camera doing, footage and stuff. But also, Marvel 2 Days was always winning every Evo. He has, I think, among the most championships now in history. And just how much he's done for the scene and how he gives back now with social media and content and positivity. And I think he has the record for most shills and sponsorships in a single year. But also, he's still one of the best. He just doesn't compete at a high level. But if he really wanted to, man, he really could still kick anyone's ass. He's a family man now, trying to juggle that, being a good, amazing father and husband and a traveler and a player and a streamer and a YouTuber and a face of so many companies. So Justin Wong is definitely like one of the best, if not greatest, in the video game industry ever.
I mean, Justin, is there anybody else that you would mention?
Like you mentioned earlier, there's a lot of great players. It's hard to tell if they're legendary players. So right now, from the top of my head, I really can't think of any other names, man. I just can't. So we're just gonna keep it like that.
Wow. Stop right there. Did we miss anybody? And you notice they have Sonic right there in the shadow. In the shadow realm. I like how they said Justin has the most sponsors and the most shills in one particular year. I think some would argue that Button Check is right along those lines of most shills and sponsors in a particular year as far as content creation. Some might argue that's a good thing. Just me saying that's a good thing. Anyway, let's continue. If we're getting real, did we miss anyone? If I'm looking at it right now, Rob has always made that argument that if you're the best Street Fighter player, you're the best because it's the biggest, the hardest competition. So how could you not be? And I think Mena has made the same argument. We got Daigo up here. We got Arslan. We got Mena. We got Justin. We got Ryan. I agree. Now, could it be changed? Yes, because there's a lot of other big names. Like if you scroll down here, right here, no Shell High, no Taquito mention is nasty work. Why are they not allowed to include Sonic? They said, well, technically they are. I'd go beyond the players and say, what about those who don't compete at the highest level, but do other things within the FGC, like run the tournaments? So I'd say Jay Bailey. Okay, well, that's a different argument. All legacies are entitled to scrutiny, but there's a definitive name missing here if I speak. Then going back to that Sonic argument right here saying, wait, so Daigo, Arslan Ash, and Mena RD all really only have won in one franchise, yet Sonic Fox has not only won EVO in just about every NRS game, but also won EVO in Fighters and Skullgirls, also was dominant in MVCI, GG Strive, SC6, DOA5, Under Night in Birth, did well in Street Fighter 5 and 6, and 2XKO. The underneath that saying not putting Sonic up there is crazy work. Even deeper right here saying Wong, Daigo, Hart, okay. But if we don't include Fox, even though he won Fighters, I don't understand why we should put Ash or Mena. Despite their consistency in their games, I definitely believe Taquito, Ni, Qdons, Shao Hai, or Infiltration should be considered before those two. And then Sonic is up there, a big win. This kid has already done that, and in the most competitive era, Jay Wong is the only one I agree with. Then again, right here, saying there will always be an NRS asterisk when these talks about Mount Rushmore start. Oh, the participation is low compared to the other big franchises, so it's easier to win and blah, blah, blah. I personally think that Sonic Fox is definitely Mount Rushmore. If you have Mena RD on there, so is Sonic. And even more right here saying, you can tell that they clearly don't respect SNK or the NRS scene. What else do we got? Sonic has EVO wins in 5 or different games, but doesn't have a big win enough for the Mount Rushmore. Clearly Tekken and Street Fighter are weighed more than all other fighting games because he should be on it over Mena and Arslan. How you feeling about that? Besides the argument if you think he should be there, do you think he should be over Mena and Arslan? But then I noticed Rip responded and he was like, hey, hold up. They asked me for 5 names, LOL. They only got one of my names. So that's what I was thinking with the editing. Maybe more of them, you know, I don't think they asked them just one name. So maybe some of them did say Sonic. You know, that was literally just, what do you call it? A clip of Justin's opinion. So who knows? Maybe more of them did say that Sonic should be there. Then going back to my video, I was curious, right? Because there were so many comments and I know, let's be real, man. I know anytime I've talked about Sonic Fox on this channel, you're gonna get a little everything. You're gonna get some people that really back Sonic and some people that really do not rock with Sonic. I think a lot of people don't rock with him, at least I'm going off of the comments, is because they feel like he's annoying, he speaks too much, he talks too much bullshit that's outside of the game. Those are not my words. Those are what the comments that I'm reading. They're like, why does he have to talk so much about this particular thing or make so many things sexual or like genderism, is that a fucking word? Anyway, you know, I'm talking political and all that other stuff. People don't like that. A lot of people, it rubs them the wrong way. So they're like, can we just play video games? We're so tired of this guy running his mouth. And I've honestly, since the start of Button Check, I've read those comments, right? So he definitely triggers some people. Like I said, either you love him or you hate him. But I guess that also could be said about a lot of people that are, you know, in the limelight. But going back to these comments, like some people right here said, Sonic doesn't have the longevity in game. Also, he's mostly NRS, and honestly, those are not serious games. But I noticed there's like 15 replies to that, so I'm like, you already know. So somebody says, I instantly disregard anyone who bullshits with NRS are non-serious games, and I absolutely hate playing NRS games. If NRS isn't serious, then Marvel 2 sure as hell isn't either. Game may as well been a slot machine, damn. And let's glaze Mena, cause he's only good at one game, and not serious, but their main game's at EVO, sir. Damn, so there you have it. So when you read the comments, you do actually have a lot of people saying that whether you like him or not, you can't deny the resume. The resume says everything. And whether you say NRS or MK games are not real games because they don't have like longevity, or the competition is not as big as it would be in Tekken or Street Fighter, he still won. Nobody really gets to choose who's in there. You just play what you like. And if it's at EVO, it's technically a main game or a mainstream game, and it has been at EVO for a long time. Not gonna be at the next one. I mean, that shit's a wrap. But I think it would be different, you know, because on one hand you could say not longevity, but if he keeps winning at every fucking version of that same game, I mean, that's technically another version of longevity. But going back to Mount Rushmore, it does seem crazy, right? When you talk about somebody that has won so many EVOs to say, well, maybe they need a big win. It almost seems like to me, you know, a lot of times I find myself agreeing with what Jay Wong says. I rock with some Jay Wong. But it almost seems like Jay Wong is very familiar with what the community is saying and what the comments and all that. So it's almost like he's echoing their words, right? He's like, maybe that's why people don't currently accept it. But if he gets a big win, if he's winning this 2x KO or Tokon or something like that, then you can't deny him. So it's almost like he's kind of keeping that in mind rather than just giving his, you know, just a straight opinion, you know what I'm saying? Because he did say something like, maybe that's why currently people don't accept it. So I don't know, man. I think this Mount Rushmore thing, it's just like a good thing to argue about, kind of like barbershop talk, right? I don't think we'll ever get it right. There's so many names, so many deserving people that belong there. I think from the one that they just picked, let me go back there real quick, like the did we miss anybody? I mean, it's some good ass picks. It's hard to argue. But is this the final version that it should be? I really don't know. How y'all feeling? Let me know. And that it is, Butt Check family. Definitely let me know how you are feeling. Thank you guys for the amazing love. We're so much closer to Friday, the weekend. We done made it. And guess what? Christmas, if you celebrate that, is right around the corner. I couldn't be happier. I'm actually going right now with my family after this video to start decorating the tree and something like that, do a little celebration. We finally kicking into the Christmas spirit as of today. Usually we get in it early. I'm talking about like right when December hits, but we're late. We're behind the ball right now. So either way, we'll do that today. Hope you guys are having a blessed one. Tomorrow, the Manscaped winner will be announced, so hope to see you guys there. And as always, I don't know what it is, and I don't know what the Mount Rushmore is, but I know somehow, some way, it's about to get better. Love y'all, family. Peace.
Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.
Here go that weed whacker. We'll be giving away this tomorrow. I've only used it twice, so when you get it, give it a little blow. There might be some button check hairs, you know, from whacking my weeds in it. So just blow it, and it's cool. Good. Maybe dip it in some alcohol, and it's good. It's good. You know, you can keep it. I can autograph for you if you want, and you can have, you know, my signature and my DNA right here in the weed whacker. So expect this for the winner tomorrow. Or I'll just send you a brand new one. Let's do that. I'll just send you a brand new one. Anyway, happy holidays.